Wajaluo wanajua sana kutawala bome ambayo yuko na wanawake wengi. Ati ikiwa kama kumechinjwa nyama simpaka kila mwanamke apate. Ama sivyo? Watakuwa wewe napeleka tu kwa dongo hero kila kitu.
A very good evening and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for your greatest support. Now, I would like to appreciate you guys for what you're doing. You're doing a very wonderful job. Subscribing, liking, sharing the videos every now and then is very much okay, and I have to appreciate you guys. Normally say that feedback is normally the key thing in any form of communication, and therefore I have to do that. As we get into this discussion, I've got three things actually that I would like to talk about. Number one, I want us to start by talking about the issue of the members of the Senate. Today, during the session at the Senate, in the morning, they adjourned the first session because there was no quorum, and then they came back in the afternoon. Now, they're coming back in the afternoon. They were supposed to have a meeting, or they were supposed to question or to ask the Cabinet Secretary of Land, that is Alice WAHOME, concerning the issues of land and all that. And one thing I have learned or have realized with the member of the Parliament, both the Senate and both the Senate and the Parliament itself, is this way: that both the Senate and the National Assembly is that somebody can just wake up and can just stand up and say something that contradicts the order of the day. Like, for example, today, during the time that Karen NYAMU was getting on the floor of the House, maybe when she was going to sit, something happened. One of the senators just stood and interrupted the session by talking about how Karen NYAMU was wearing, or the way she was putting on.
Hazana. Yes, Senator Enoch.
Speaker, have you seen Senator Karen NYAMU and the way she is dressed today, walking into the House with one side of the jacket worn and the rest hanging loose? Mr. Speaker, this House, we can forgive. There is no problem. But Mr. Speaker, you must enforce rules in this House. Next time I'll walk in, Mr. Speaker, with my jacket hanging on my shoulder, and I will demand that you take precedent of what has happened, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Karen NYAMU, you are out of order for violating the Speaker's rules. You cannot walk into the chamber. Order, Senator Funandi. I'm the one delivering the ruling. In fact, you're guilty as charged. You're the one holding her hands as you're walking in the chamber. Senator Karen NYAMU, I will give you a warning for today. You repeat the same thing, I will have to ask you to leave the chamber. Let us observe the Speaker's rules. Senator Hazana.
And I was like, okay, so this is what is going on. So these people are really giving such kind of things priority. Like, they have to discuss the way people are putting on. And the other time, I also had a bad girl when she was talking about how, we remember, Wamuchomba was putting on. And also the women of, was it the women of where? This lady, I can't remember her name so well. So you see Kirinyaga, the Kirinyaga women rep. So are you seeing such kind of thing? So these guys, sometimes they leave what is very much important that is supposed to be discussed on the floor, and they talk about other things, which is not right. Another thing that I would like to talk about is this issue of the ministers missing the floor session.
This is an institution. You cannot write to us at 7 p.m. for an appearance of the following day. In fact, so serious is this matter, Mr. Speaker, that I have taken the trouble to attend a cabinet retreat chaired by none other than the President and raise this issue, that as an institution, how do you expect us to function if barely a few hours to your appearance before Parliament, you're writing to us letters? To do what? Alice WAHOME needs to know she's no longer the Member of Parliament for Kandara. She's a Minister of the Republic of Kenya. I have seen the letter, Mr. Speaker, purporting that she has traveled out of the country. Did she just realize last night that she's traveling out of the country? This is serious contempt against Parliament. The unfortunate thing, Mr. Speaker, is that the power is with us, but we have refused to pass that report, Mr. Speaker, which you are aware. And Mr. Speaker, allow me to put you also on the spot, because you are the chairperson of Powers and Privilege Committee. You know very well that we passed a report in this House that stated that failure to honor parliamentary appearances, including question time, particularly on such a serious matter as this, Mr. Speaker, should attract some form, Mr. Speaker, or fine or something, Mr. Speaker, so that people don't treat this House with that kind of contempt. I know there are many people, because I've seen conversations from the other House saying, oh, what are ministers going to do in the Senate? Does it even include Minister for Lands? A function that is nearly 100% devolved, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge, with tremendous respect to you and the members who serve in the Powers and Privilege Committee, we have already passed that report in this House. It is you to adopt and guide the House so that you lead us to do the necessary amendments that we need to do so that people begin to treat this House with the seriousness that it deserves.
Speaker, let me just join the majority leader in expressing my disappointment. Speaker, if you look at the matters that we were to have conversations with the minister today, Nairobi is under attack from land grabbers. These are matters that are urgent. If you look at the order paper, Honorable Speaker, the College of Insurance in South Sea has been grabbed. The College of Insurance in South Sea. As we speak right now, they don't even have access to the college because the land grabber has fenced off the place. We are talking about land in Mbotela, land in Kasarani, Makadara, a playground in Buruburu Phase 5. My expectation was the minister would treat this one as urgent. Because you remember the last time, and to her credit, Honorable Speaker, she has been of help to the people of Nairobi before, when Tomboya Social Hall had been grabbed. If it was not the statement that was made here in the Senate to revoke that title, that land was gone. She must treat these issues with urgency. It is one thing, you know, there are certain dockets, I think, that as a minister, you must know that these are matters of life and death. Things to do with health, Honorable Speaker. Things to do with land. Here in Nairobi, we are under siege. So we really need this minister to come through. And this is the only avenue we get to be able to have these conversations with her. We have lamented here before. We have expressed outrage before that the manner of communication, because all of us in leadership have had opportunity to travel. This travel is planned weeks, months in advance. You have to get visas, clearances. It is not a surprise. And we as a Senate do our best to write in good time to the people that we need to have conversations with here so that they can be able to tell us, oh, by the way, in 2 weeks' time, I will not be in Nairobi and will not be able to join you in the sitting. So it is a bit contemptuous. It is a bit contemptuous, and I've also not seen the written responses from the ministry. Honorable Speaker, these are urgent matters. Even if she was not able to come, let her give us written responses so that we are able to know what is the situation with these parcels of land. We cannot afford any more time lost because, as I have said, we are under siege in Nairobi. So with those many remarks, Honorable Speaker, I think this one was a great disservice to us as a people of Nairobi, given how urgent these matters were.
But again, fellow Kenyans, on this issue of land grabbing, we really need to ask ourselves these questions. Question number one, who is this land grabber that can just decide to grab all those lands in South Sea? The land is being grabbed. All those places that Edwin Sifuna is mentioning. Who can decide to grab all those lands if it's not somebody who is superior in this country and who has got power? Whenever he gives an order, either through a phone call, that phone call can be responded positively by doing what the person is ordering. No, we need to ask ourselves these questions. Who land grabber ni nani? I want you to tell me that at the comment section. Huyu land grab ambaye hao watu wanazungumzia ni nani? Like, you know very well they were supposed to go and answer questions at the Senate or the Parliament, National Assembly, and then you ignore to go. Are you really responsible? Like, what I like to say is that, can you just go and answer the questions, because people expect to hear a lot from you. You know, that is why you come to find out that putting women in leadership sometimes, not all women, remember, not all women, but some women are just stubborn. Like, you're supposed to go and answer questions. Like, literally, what I can say is that on my side, I don't know what you think on that, but on my side, one thing I believe, or one thing I know, is that since Alice WAHOME was given chance to be the CS of the land, I don't think if there is something constructive that she has done. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me that in the comment section. Maybe if there is something that she has done, but not only her. A lot of cabinet secretaries under William Samoei Ruto have done nothing. Like, literally, there is nothing constructive that they've done that they can say that now this is what I've done as a person, as maybe as the Secretary General, at the cabinet secretary, or what. Nothing completely. When you try to look at, the only thing that they do is they campaign for William Ruto instead of working. You know, they're not supposed. These guys should understand that they're not supposed to campaign for William Ruto. They're supposed to work, because that is why they're there. Work for Kenyans, don't work for William Ruto. Nobody wants you to work for William Ruto. No. People want you to work for Kenyans. Deliver. After delivering, that is when now people will say that, okay, maybe we can try this guy, because the people that has been supporting him, have been working with him, have really supported him, and he has achieved this. So if at all maybe he wants another chance, then we can give him to finish what he started. But tell me why, or tell me how William Ruto, together with this cabinet and the people that are around him, expect Kenyans to elect him one more term, yet there is nothing constructive that they've done that they can say that, okay, indeed, this is what we've done. Can they show us what they've done? That is the question. Are you in a position to show us what you've done? And then after showing us what you've done, that is when now we can make decisions. Decisions are normally made based on what has been achieved and what has not been achieved. So if what has been achieved is quite more than what has not been achieved, and then maybe you ask for another chance to be given opportunity again to serve or to do or the other thing, then it becomes easier. But if you don't do that, it's normally very difficult. Are you seeing? It's normally very difficult to do such kind of things. That is why it is very difficult right now for anybody to allow himself or herself to elect William Ruto, because everybody is asking this question. If you've not delivered for these years, what guarantee? What are you giving? What are you giving us as a guarantee to show us that you're going to do this? We really need. Okay, we wanted you to deliver. We wanted you to do everything possible, maybe to be a total. But then we can't allow such kind of things. We can't allow it to happen, because we've already seen what you can do. You've shown us who you are. We've seen your true colors. If we give you another chance, then this country is going to be ripped off. Things are going to be difficult, literally completely difficult, if you give it a chance. The last thing, I would like to talk about this issue of Nairobi County. You know, I listened to Ledamo Lekina speaking yesterday, and after listening to Ledamo Lekina, I also came up, I just sat down, and I also asked myself a lot of questions.
Before this constitution, during the BBI period, some of us had seen an opportunity to be able to bring in positive change to how a city like Nairobi is managed. We compared it with a city like Addis Ababa, which has got about 10 sub-counties in it, managed by different authorities, to be able to ensure that they deal with waste management, they deal with sanitation, and they also deal with service delivery. Mr. Speaker, when we are talking about the issue of managing or lamenting here on how filthy and dirty the streets of Nairobi are, I think it is about time that we become more future-centric and come up with a solution on what we are going to do, because every single day as we talk, we will never solve the problem of Nairobi. Nairobi will continue being filthy dirty, Mr. Speaker, if you go to Enterprise Road, you'll be shocked. You know, there's a place where they sell pallets, and right next to it, I think it's next to one plastic manufacturing company. It is a filthy area. You know, it is literally converted into a dump site. It's the middle of the road, converted into a dump site. If you go to Isili, the same things. Mr. Speaker, it is about time that we start thinking about how do we manage Nairobi. And ultimately, my proposal will be Nairobi should never have been made a county. Nairobi should not be made a county. Nairobi should be made a capital city that is managed like other big capital cities are managed. A city like Addis Ababa, a city like Washington, D.C. Because what is happening right now, we have been told of problems. Earlier on, the Senator of Nairobi was talking about the issues of post-COVID. When people, houses, when they were given a waiver because of the hardship. Then later on, now we have changed the strategy. What is happening as to why tenants are being evicted from their houses is not really because of a rent dispute issue. It is because of these affordable housing redevelopment strategies that are coming up. And instead of taking those people and sitting down with them and saying, let us find a way that we build these houses for you to be able to live here and continue contributing to this economy, we now kick them out. Those are things that, Mr. Speaker, that needs to be thoroughly investigated and a solution found, one that will be able to take care of the needs of these citizens who live in Nairobi. It is true, all of us live in Nairobi. Members from all the 47 counties live in Nairobi. So we must be able to come up with a better way of managing this city.
Like literally, I was like, okay, Nairobi city is the capital of is the capital of Kenya. Just like Addis Ababa, just like any other city, you see. So I was like, okay, why is it that in 2010's constitution, when these counties were being formed, why did these guys decide to make Nairobi a capital, the whole capital city, a county? You know, they reduced they reduced capital city into a small section like Murang'a County, like Siaya County, Busia County, like Kisumu County, Mombasa. Okay, you know what I thought, or maybe what I was thinking was like, you see, places like Mombasa County. Mombasa was just supposed to be a city. Like Nairobi, literally, because it's the capital city, it's supposed to be a city. It's supposed to be a city on its own. Because this Nairobi county, Nairobi itself is a city and cannot be run by an individual, somebody who doesn't understand how a city should be run. And let me say this without fear of contradiction, and you'll agree with me on this, that even if somebody will be brought, let's say a learned guy, somebody who is so much learned, somebody who knows, somebody like Babu Owino, let's say for example somebody like Babu Owino, even if Babu Owino is going to come as the governor of Nairobi County, I bet you that Babu Owino will not do as much as maybe people expect. What will happen is that there will be these problems will pile, because Nairobi should not be a county. Nairobi should be a city. Because there are a lot of expectation. See the kind of people Nairobi city attracts. Tourists come. A lot of people come from villages, come from other counties to come and settle in Nairobi. It means that there's a lot that is supposed to be done in Nairobi city, and that is why Nairobi is not supposed to be a county. Nairobi is bigger than a county. How many constituencies are in Nairobi? That should be the first question. That how many constituencies are in Nairobi? Nairobi city itself, Nairobi County has got 17 constituencies. 17 constituencies. And then you go and compare it with a place that has got 4 or 5 constituencies. Seriously? and then you expect the same results. You know, Governor Sakaja is doing nothing. Let us just be open on that. Governor Sakaja is doing nothing. And what is happening is that a lot of people are pressurizing Governor Sakaja to be impeached. But truth of the matter is that there are only two ways of Governor Sakaja leaving office. Number one, Governor Sakaja knows very well that he has got the support of William Ruto and Raila Odinga. So even if a lot of MCs, people like Robert Alai will be making noise here and there will be no difference. Not unless Raila Odinga and William Ruto says that, okay, boss, it's time you go. That is when he will go. Another way is through election. So it's either watu wavumilie jinsi ambavyo watu wanavumilia William Ruto mpaka 2027. Alafu ifikapo mwaka 2027 watu waende wakapige kura na wamuondoe. Because Sakaja cannot serve. I've told you that this Nairobi county itself is a city. And being that Nairobi is a city, it needs somebody who is learned, who is so much educated, who knows, actually not even learned, but somebody who knows, who understands what needs to be done. But even if that person will come, it will be very difficult for that same person to manage Nairobi, because Nairobi is more than a county. Tuwakubaliane hapo, Nairobi is more than a county. Nairobi is a city. A city cannot be compared with a county. You can't. You can't. Yes, everybody wants Nairobi to work, but at what point? Like, at which rate? What are people really trying to do to make sure that they make Nairobi work? That should be the question. In fact, that is the only thing that's supposed to bother people. That how are we going to make Nairobi work? Yes, we are pressurizing that Nairobi should work, but the question is how? How are we going to make sure that everybody in the city is okay, is okay? We go to Nairobi city, it's very dirty. Imagine that is a city, very dirty. That is the capital city of Kenya. Very dirty. Dumps the dumping sites everywhere. Yes, people are doing businesses, but in as much as people are doing businesses, can it be maintained? Can Nairobi city be maintained? Can it not be clean? Yes, they talk about keep Nairobi clean, but what are people doing to make sure that Nairobi city is clean? Not people, but the government. You know, I said this, and yesterday I did an interview with some of the guys. I'll put those interviews. I think probably from tomorrow. I'm still working on them. And one of the guys was saying that you know, we focus too much on change, but now the question should be, where should this change start from? Change starts from the voters. We are the people supposed to begin by change. We change our mindset. And then after changing our mindset, that is when we will know who to elect, how, and what they're going to give us. Simple as that. After all, guys, that's just my thought. So I would like to ask you a question. Can you tell me this thing? Do you really think that it was good to make Nairobi city a county? That is the first question. The second question, why is it that these women, they normally make other women feel like, okay, heshima iliisha. Look at people, somebody like Karen NYAMU, na hiyo heshima yake ilikuwa imeisha kitambo. You know, the way she does her things, you're like, okay, Karen NYAMU, Omanga, Pasaris, that bracket. And then WAHOME also is refusing to go to the Senate to answer questions, because what Kenyans want answers. And the only way to get answers from these CSS is when they accept to go to the Senate, where they're going to be asked questions that concerns Kenyans. After all, guys, that's just my thought, and that is all I have for today. Let me know what you think in the comment section, please. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to drop me a comment. Until we meet again, I have been your host, Boniface Avino.